and gentlemen, from the T-Mobile Arena by way of the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, in association with TBG Promotions, is proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing in the super middleweight division. Catchweight limit of 164.5 pounds. And it's all sponsored by Tecate, Born Bold, Hennessy, Never Stop, Never Settle, O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Adriana's Insurance, the high-risk driver's choice. Interjet, El Riolino Oficial del Box, the smart way to fly. And the motion picture, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, in theaters everywhere, May 12th. This contest sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony Marnell III, Executive Director Bob Bennett. The three judges at ringside, Adelaide Bird, Glenn Feldman, and Dave Moretti. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Kenny Bayless. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, los funcionarios están listos. Los luchadores están listos. Damas y caballeros, están todos listos. For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world and wish they could be here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner with his trainer Nacho Beristain. He's wearing white and weighed in officially at 164 pounds. His professional record, 50 victories, including 32 wins by knockout with 2 defeats and 1 draw. Presenting the former middleweight champion of the world, damas y caballeros, el ex campeón del mundo, el es el guerrero luchando de Culiacán, Sinaloa, México, Julio, Cesrr, Chavez Jr. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner with his trainer Eddie Reynoso, wearing blue with gold and weighing in officially at 164 pounds. His professional record, 48 victories, including 34 wins by knockout with 1 defeat and 1 draw. He's a 3-time world champion, former middleweight champion of the world, and current 2-time light middleweight world champion. Damas y caballeros, es la máquina de lucha legendaria de Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, Saúl Canelo
Okay, gentlemen, trunks are good on both sides. This is it. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, Bruno Suerte.
Kenny Bayless with the instructions. Everybody on their feet inside the T-Mobile Arena. They sold standing room only tickets, and everybody is inside. 20,000 ready to go to see Canelo and Julio Cesrr Chavez Jr. A fight that's been brewing. They were on a U.S. press tour. They were on private jets. Here they are inside the ring, and we are underway. They don't even tap glove. Canelo Alvarez in the blue. Chavez Jr. in the white with the green and red, representing the Mexican flag. Jr. coming down in weight. The buzz was he gonna make 164.5. He did, coming in at 164 on the dot. Canelo Alvarez, most of his fights have been at 55. Here he is, going up in weight. How will the weight affect him? How will the weight loss affect Junior? We're finding out. This one's scheduled for 12 rounds.
You look at the musculature of Alvarez and it lets you know that he can be a full-fledged middleweight. You look at the giant bone structure of Chavez Jr. and you know right away he's probably a natural super middleweight.
Canelo Alvarez went off as a 5-1 favorite in Las Vegas. Canelo, for this camp, brought in sparring partners that fight at light heavyweight. He was sparring guys weighing 180, 185.
And that might be what Chavez Jr. weighs right now.
He does look big, the way he rehydrated.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he overdid it. I can see definition in his muscles and his abs. He looks filled out. Obviously looks bigger than he did at yesterday's weigh-in, but he doesn't look bloated.
Nope. Good jab landed by Canelo. This one is being called the Mexican Super Bowl. A lot of people from Mexico flew to Las Vegas specifically for this. Snapping the jabs is Canelo. Canelo Alvarez, when he turned pro at the age of 15, he was paid a few pesos, the equivalent of about 40 bucks. Story goes that when Chavez Jr. turned pro in 2003, he was given $25,000. That's a storyline that Canelo's camp has said over and over. Everything we have, we've earned. Chavez Jr. been critiqued over the years for not taking it seriously, for not making weight, training when he wanted, different trainers all the time. Opening round, 30 seconds to go. Feeling each other out. Canelo's never fought anybody this big in his life.
No, he doesn't look intimidated.
No.
But at the same time, he's not totally opening up offensively.
He's also said he doesn't respect Junior at all.
Both guys have a nice straight jab, but it's Canelo Alvarez who's connected more in this opening round.
Closing seconds of the opening round at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Fue el primer round, hijo, anda muy lento, hay más distancia pero anda lento. Cuando te quiera contragolpear nomás déjalo corto, no te va a alcanzar. Y en lo corto empiézamelo a contragolpear y a combinar. Okay. ¿Sale? Sí. Bien abusado, con el golpe abajo.
No te vayas con la de frente. Páralo con el jab. Páralo con el jab. No esperes el golpe.
Stop him with the jab.
Vamos. Vivo, Julio, vivo.
Nacho Beristain brought in for this camp with Julio Cesrr Chavez. Neither fighter using their stool between rounds. Both of them standing up. Nacho Beristain does not play around in his camp. There was questions as to who Chavez Jr. would use as his trainer. He's been with Robert Garcia in the past as other fighters, other trainers. Beristain took him to Otomil, Mexico, high in the altitude above Mexico City, about an hour and a half away. That's where he had his camp. Took it serious. They cut down the weight. He looks good body-wise here. And the discipline instilled by Nacho Beristain is what Chavez Jr. said he needed in his career here at the age of 31. Canelo Alvarez landing the 1-2s.
Now Alvarez beginning to punch in combination, and he's tapping that body as well, which you want to do against a fighter who lost a lot of weight and then put a whole lot of weight back on. That often makes fighters susceptible to body attacks.
Last time Junior was in the ring, December, he weighed 168 pounds against Dominic Britch. Canelo, we saw him cut apart Liam Smith in September. 1-2 from Canelo. Junior right there with him.
Junior wants to get Alvarez along the ropes. This is where he does his damage. This is where he goes to the body and works his opponents over with uppercuts.
And you hear a heavy crowd for Chavez Jr. Canelo with the uppercut.
Alvarez doesn't have to go to the ropes, but he does have a habit of doing so, generally in the middle of a fight.
He feels like he works well off of it?
Yeah, he does. He slips and counters well off the ropes, but that's a dangerous game against a guy as big as Chavez.
Got it. 6'1" to 5'9", the height difference. Uppercut from Canelo. Stiff jab from Canelo, followed by a right. Body shot from Canelo, digging.
Yeah, Alvarez is really ripping that left to the body.
It is loud inside the T-Mobile Arena. Every time a fighter lands, their crowd cheers for them. They're trying to draw each other out.
It's a beautiful jab from Alvarez.
Real stiff jab.
Yeah, excellent technique. You can see he's getting he's pushing off with his back foot, getting a lot of snap and body into it.
Throwing a lot of uppercuts here in the second round is Canelo Alvarez.
Well, the way that Chavez holds his hands, he's open for an uppercut.
Body work. Hook. Back to the body. Chavez Jr. answers with his own. 10 seconds. That stiff jab landing here in the second round from the fighter from Guadalajara in blue, Canelo Alvarez.
Te estás dejando golpear.
Puedes hacerlo, vas a ser mejor, vas a tener un poquito más ventaja ahí que quedarte parado.
Más al medio.
Sí, en medio, pero es que tiras golpes y retrocesos, manos arriba para hacerle perder la distancia, porque te quedas ahí paradito y para él le favorece.
Tienes que trabajar más un golpe que cambiarle por aquí o por acá. ¿Vale? Subiendo la cinturita. Sin bajarme a la derecha, y dejándolo corto,
There you see him, Triple G. Gennady Golovkin, Abel Sanchez' trainer right next to him.
Dave Chappelle right behind Triple G. Big boxing fan.
Chappelle was actually at the weigh-ins yesterday, talked with both fighters in their locker rooms before they went to the weigh-in.
He's a huge fan, and this is a huge fighting event.
And of course, the man in the middleweight division everybody talks about, the boogeyman from sports, Triple G. He's been in the ring with Canelo before. There's talks that is supposed to happen in September. First, he's got to get past Junior. Saul Canelo Alvarez, a boxing family, brothers, average fighters. He's just something special. The youngest in the family of the boys. Upstairs. That crowd here is just going to react to every single punch landed.
So far, it's been Canelo Alvarez landing the majority of solid punches. It's not a good sign when a man as big as Junior is the one backing up.
Chavez Sr. is sitting right in front of us. He was working Spanish TV for the other fights. Here, he's not. And you see him, he's standing in front of us, yelling at the corner with Nacho Beristain, giving instructions. It's so loud, I don't think they can hear him.
I think he wants to see his son come forward, put a little pressure, see if Alvarez can fight by backing up.
A jab from Canelo landing.
And you don't want to just stand in front of Canelo, and you don't want to back straight up against Canelo either. If you're going to move, it needs to be lateral movement. You need to circle him. And if you want to engage him, you need to push him back on his heels.
This fight, supposedly, going to say who's the best fighter in Mexico. Who's the face of boxing in Mexico? Canelo wanted nothing to do with that. He's like, I am. He's like, no, it's me.
Yes, he is.
What has Junior? What has Junior done to merit that?
Yes.
He doesn't represent.
In the last 5 years, it's been Canelo Alvarez. He is Mexico's shining star. However, there's an opportunity tonight for Chavez Jr. to take that position.
And there's some swelling from the right eye of Chavez Jr. Canelo landing that stiff jab, landing a hook. You see some bleeding, some blood from the mouth of Junior.
Yeah, that right eye is looking a little squinty. It's a little bit puffy.
Now some blood from the nose.
Good shots from Junior, though.
Right from Canelo. 30 seconds to go in the third. Canelo Alvarez digging to the body.
And it was smart of Alvarez to get off those ropes as soon as possible and to dig to the body.
Look at this. Methodically going after Junior is Canelo. 10 seconds to go. Blood from the face of Junior. Canelo picking the spots here in the third. Looking good for the fighter from Guadalajara, Mexico.
¿Cómo lo sientes, hijo? Ya lo empezaste a golpear más. Ahí te metió una derecha que no tenías necesidad que te la metieran, güey. Te quedas ahí y te la va a agarrar. No quiero que te dé una sola derecha. Trabaja el medio ring. Trabaja el medio ring, güey. Si lo conecta, no empieza a pasear ya hacia. Mueve la cintura. Mueve la cinturita.
Tienes que ya empezar a atacarlo más.
You need to attack him more.
Sí, Julio.
Very confident Canelo Alvarez corner, Doug.
Yeah, Alvarez continues to stand. Chavez Jr. is sitting down now between rounds, and he had the look of a fighter at the end of round 3 that was beginning to break down.
Look, I noticed in the corner of Chavez Jr., they had the cut man, Mike Rodriguez. Excellent cut man, working with Junior for the first time. And he is a cut man that is used to working on some big shots. Interesting that they brought him in here for this fight as Canelo opens up the fourth with some heavy shots.
Well, the heaviest shots are not to Chavez's face, it's to his body. And I think Alvarez hurt Chavez with a right to the body a moment ago.
That one right there, popping up. He is covering up, Canelo is loading up. Has Chavez thrown a punch yet?
No. He's been backpedaling and covering up.
And breathing through his mouth.
And I think he's begun to second guess himself too. He's wondering, okay, what am I going to do in here with this guy as he eats those jabs?
Right there, left again. Right hand from Chavez Jr.
That was a good, and that was a good long range straight right. We need more of that from Chavez Jr. if we're going to get a fight.
A little swelling for the left eye, underneath the left eye of Canelo.
There's a small mouse under the left eye of Alvarez.
From that right from Junior.
Chavez can't rest on his laurels. He had a moment. He needs to press his advantage. Instead, he's eating big right uppercuts from Alvarez.
Oh, another one.
That was a right cross, man.
Yes, it was.
Sweat fly.
Right hand from Canelo. Chavez eating it. Smirking, but no. Uppercut landed from Canelo. Backing up again is Chavez Jr. Canelo with the smirk of his face. Look at him. Oh, he's going for it, Doug. A very confident Canelo Alvarez doing whatever he wants with Julio Cesrr Chavez Jr. in Las Vegas.
These are very sharp and accurate punches. And when he puts those punches together and punctuates it with body shots, Chavez Jr. is in trouble.
He said he was going to teach him a lesson. He's doing it here through 3.5 rounds. Here's Canelo Alvarez. 1, 2, uppercut. Like he's working a heavy bag. Junior backpedaling most of this round. Chavez, Canelo stalking him. 1, 2 from Junior. Need to see more of that. That jab from Canelo has been sharp all night long. Landing it at will. That hand partially blocked. Final seconds of the fourth. Another good round for the Guadalajara. There's Canelo's mother. she sits down. Her son isn't sitting down
Quiero que
at
caigas en
all.
exceso de confianza, ¿eh?
Ya lo sacaste ahorita casi de muerte.
Te va.
I wonder if this was a psychological ploy to get in the head
No
of
caigas en
Chavez
exceso de
Jr.
confianza,
stand
mueve la
between
cinturita, son 12 rounds, hay que irlos trabajando
puerta
poco a poco.
negra is jamming.
¿Ok? Ahí va, ya empieza a cambiar las combinaciones. Ya le agarraste uno bueno, ahora empieza a buscar abajo.
Now you
A
got to look
trabajar
from
tus
downstairs.
fintas.
You went up there, you got to change
Déjamelo
your
cortito,
combination.
pon atención con las derechas.
Pay attention to
Julio.
his right.
Trabájalo con tu izquierda y recíbelo, Julio.
Working with your
Sintéalo
left.
que se meta. Vamos. Fuera.
You're right. There's a two different sense of urgencies in the camp.
And there's a lot of confidence in Alvarez's corner. I'm not sure what we're getting from Chavez's corner.
Fifth round. It's scheduled for 12. As Chavez Sr., we mentioned it, he's sitting in front of us. He's standing up. In the last round, he was trying to give instruction to the corner. The commission pushed him away, like, you're not licensed to be in the corner right now. He's feeling that desperation on behalf of his son. Right hand from Canelo.
Now, Chavez Sr. probably believes there needs to be more of a sense of urgency between rounds because I think it's time for them to crack the whip and tell their fighter, hey, you need to be the pressure fighter. You need to be the bigger man in this. It's not working with you just backpedaling behind the jab.
Jab from Canelo. Right hand from Guadalajara. Oh, that woke him up. Snapping that right, didn't he, Doug?
Yeah, a lot of speed, a lot of snap on the end of all of Alvarez's punches, but particularly his right.
You hear a woman's voice. That's Chavez's wife who's giving more instruction than most of her corner. Body shot. Upstairs Canelo. 1-2. Halfway through the round.
Watch your head.
Alvarez is landing a lot of uppercuts in close as well.
Junior is taller. Has the
bring him
reach.
up.
Canelo's in there. Snapping the jab. Landing the combinations. Going the body. Uppercut. Right hand. Controlling this round again with a minute to go was Canelo Alvarez. Look, his body filled out nicely, did Canelo. 64. He'll go back down to 160, he said after this. But he took this fight, not because of opportunity to fight this heavy, but to teach Junior a lesson. That talk about who's Mexican's face, Canelo is showing it tonight.
Well, he's not only looking like the better boxer and the better technician in there, he's looking like the stronger man. And obviously, he's the one who wants to fight. He's coming forward. He's making the fight right now.
You're right, Doug. Great observation. He's the one bringing the fight. As Junior backing up most of the evening. Jab. Now there's a little mouth on the left eye of Junior.
So far, so good for Alvarez, weighing in as heavy as he did. So far, it looks like functional weight. Not slowing him down at all.
There you see. Chavez's mother. Chavez's face. Great tight shot.
Tienes que soltarte más. Todos los rounds los hemos perdido. Tienes que tirar más
round we've
golpes.
lost.
Métete con él. Tienes que trabajar, Julio. Tienes que meterte con él.
In close quarters, Alvarez slips a jab and comes over with a perfect right counter. And that right hand shakes Chavez Jr. down to his boots. And here's a super slow-mo of that very same punch. And you see it twist Chavez's body around.
Doug, right now between rounds, they're playing a song called El Gato y el Ratón, the cat and mouse. Very appropriate for the way this fight has been going.
Yeah, but the bigger man is playing the mouse.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
Canelo just chasing him around right now. 6th round, scheduled for 12. Overhand right from Canelo.
Chavez Jr. had a look on his face between rounds that said, what do I need this for? What the hell am I doing here?
I've made a lot of money. I basically starved myself. He had a diet this week of 1,000 calories with 1 yogurt allowed for the day so he can make the 64. And he's going to the body. Those body shots are going to start taking a toll the more the fight goes on.
And that's what Eddie Reynoso wanted from him. He said reverse those combinations. The same combinations you're doing to the head, go to the body and then go up to the head.
More body work. It's not a combination with Canelo. It's one at a time, but he's loading up on those body shots. Good right from Chavez Jr.
Those right hands are few and far between.
Upstairs goes Canelo. Jab with Canelo.
Head, watch your head.
That's a textbook jab, isn't it?
It's
La cabeza, la cabeza.
Yes, the technique is excellent. It's the kind of technique where you get maximum impact from it.
Well, you guys have that feature in Ring Magazine, How to Do, where you have Bernard Hopkins showing it.
That's called perfect execution, and I'm sure B-Hop would be proud of Canelo right now.
Canelo on the ropes, just like you said, Doug.
Yeah, in the middle rounds, it's his habit to go to the ropes because he believes he can fight off the ropes well. But Chavez Jr. has been bred to tee off anytime his opponent's back touches those ropes. It's like an instinct with him to let his hands go. So it's good for Chavez whenever Alvarez goes to the ropes.
But he didn't let his hands go. He had him there, didn't. Could Canelo be trying to play possum here with his back against the ropes? Look, just looking at him, daring him to try something.
Yeah, Alvarez is an excellent counterpuncher off the ropes.
Psychological game going on right now. Lets him off.
That's not a good sign.
Canelo Alvarez, 48-1-1, his only loss to Floyd Mayweather. And he was a very young Canelo.
22 years old and fighting at a catch weight of 152 pounds.
He's grown up. Here he is, looking good against Junior.
Sí, Julio, ya tenemos que pelear ya, Julio. Tenemos que pelear ya. Cúbrete bien y tienes que soltarle más golpes, lo estás dejando. Sí, sí, pero ya, Julio. Ya lo estás dejando ya mucho ya. Tienes que pelear ya estos rounds. Ya, Julio, tú tienes que pararlo ya, tienes que pelear ya. Ya no lo dejes ya, Julio.
Don't let him anymore.
Vamos.
Like you see some purple on the left eyebrow. Canelo walking around.
Viendo la cintura. Va el 6, al 7.
We hear the voices of Chavez's family. We hear his dad yelling. As Arcibio, my friend, the baseball player, said, you always hear your family because that's the familiar voice. Nacho Beristain isn't yelling in that corner. He's not giving you that. Wonder how much Junior is listening to any advice his dad or even his wife and mom are yelling at him.
That's a good point.
Especially when you're getting into the desperate mode. Look at Canelo coming out strong in the 7th. Now he's putting together the combination.
Alvarez is one of the best combination punchers in boxing. And when he's letting those hands go, 3 punches and 4 punches at a time, he's very hard to compete with.
Junior has a shot, takes a deep breath. Eats another. Canelo on the ropes.
Chavez needs to keep working. He needs to keep working. Volume is very important for him.
His corner told him you need a fight. So it is. Canelo answers back. Lured him in, got him, put him in the middle of the ring. Did Canelo Alvarez. Excellent work by the Guadalajara fighter. They're not too happy right now in Culiacan. It's not un fin de semana in Culiacan. It looks bad.
Chavez looks lost in there.
He's not listening to his corner at all. They're telling him to pick it up. He's not.
Alvarez looks sharper than I anticipated. And Chavez is giving less than I had hoped for.
The speed, it appears, from Canelo is picking up. Junior, his speed is slowing down. Left eye swelling for Junior. Doug, you do these great track workouts on Sunday when you run the 400s. The first couple laps, you're a champ. The last couple, you're gassed. You're waiting for the last couple 100 meters to get there. That's what Junior looks like right now.
Yes, he does.
Like he's sucking in. And Canelo looks like he's just warming up.
Well, he's able to fight at his pace. Chavez Jr. hasn't pushed the pace or tempo of this fight. To do so, he needs to apply some pressure, or at the very least, he has to have a higher work rate. And he's just not letting his hands go enough, and that's because Alvarez is putting him in check with that jab, and he's debilitating him with those body shots.
Look, Canelo dancing in that ring right now.
Oh, he's comfortable right now. I don't think he's really felt the power from Chavez.
Chavez has landed a couple good right overhand rights, but nothing else.
And Alvarez is taking it very well.
Gatorade. Déjate seco. Agarra ahí. Va el 8, Echarle huevitos, mijo, Huevitos y talento nomás,
Huevos and talent.
Ya él anda
that's
muy
what you
lento, güey, Hay que mover la cinturita. Igual no te me quedes en las cuerdas. Sí.
Move the hips.
Cerradito,
Chavez Jr. has Alvarez against the ropes. Alvarez blocks most of these winging shots, taps him on the ear with the right, and then comes up with a hard right uppercut, a right cross, followed by left hook to the head, to the body, punctuated by a right cross.
Here we are, 8th round. Canelo Alvarez looking good since the opening bell against Chavez Jr. At one point, during a face-off, they said, hey, let's bet our entire purses. That's how confident Canelo was. Junior's like, yeah. Then afterwards, cool head prevailed. Let's make some money on this. Good job, Canelo. Chavez Jr.'s team said, no, we want to make some money, because look at this. It is all Canelo tonight. Good job for Junior. The Julio take advantage of it.
That was 2 or 3 hard shots. Not all of them landed flush, but then he pauses. He pauses and he waits to get nailed like that.
Covered up.
Stay on top of him.
Canelo did a good job of covering up, deflecting those shots. They're back in the center of the ring. That left eye is starting to shut for Junior.
Alvarez is very comfortable. He's in his rhythm. He's in his groove. Whether he's stalking Chavez behind a stiff jab, whether he's teeing off in close with body head combinations, or whether or not he's laying against the ropes looking for counterpunch opportunities. He's in complete control of this fight.
Doing what he wants, when he wants, is Canelo Alvarez. The red-headed brother of the Alvarez clan. Canelo playing by his own rules lately. He's not going to be listening to sanctioning bodies telling him what to do. Let's go out there and let's have fight. I'll fight Chavez Jr. I don't like him, let's do it. I'll punish him, he said. He's doing exactly that. It wasn't him being braggadocious. It was him having confidence in himself because he knew what he was going up against. Saying that Junior never had the discipline, never had the love for the sport. Who Junior at times admitted he didn't.
And one thing this matchup did, is it forced Alvarez to come out of his weigh-in comfort zone of fighting at 154 or 155 pounds, the junior middleweight limit or a pound over, and fight as not only a full-fledged middleweight, but as technically a super middleweight. There's probably no going back down to junior middleweight. He is a middleweight now. And what a player in the division he is.
Oh, with Triple G ringside.
Agüita, tómale poquito, toma. Sigue el 9, mijo, ¿eh? No te precipites en quererlo noquear. No te aboraces, estás haciendo la pelea bien, hay que buscarlo. Mueve la cintura, hay que empezar a abrir con los jabs. No busques el caso.
Ya vamos en los menos rounds, Ya tienes que trabajarlo más. Tienes que trabajarlo más, Julio. Tienes que meterte más con él. Lo está dejando, le está dejando toda la pelea a él, Julio. Vamos, métase con él, compa.
They were jamming La Culebra by Banda Macho. La Culebra is a viper. Canelo.
Yes, he's a viper tonight.
Right hand from Canelo to open up the round.
Striking offense.
Bring him up.
Slowly poisoning Chavez.
All right, here we go.
Canelo landing at will. He's had the knockout. We saw that against James Kirkland, Liam Smith. He has that power, but as he moves in the weight, can you question it, or is it just more, maybe it's coming?
I think he's punching very hard for a middleweight, but we have to understand that these guys are technically super middleweights right now, and Chavez Jr. is a natural super middleweight, and he's always had a really good chin.
He has that good chin. And also, how much did he weigh tonight?
He's probably close to 180 pounds. And I think that's helping his punch resistance. It's not helping his power very much. He's taking so many body shots from Alvarez. I think his strength has been sapped in a way. He has these very brief moments whenever Alvarez elects to go to the ropes. And I say elect because Chavez isn't pushing him to the ropes. He's not pressuring him to the ropes. He's just not able to get enough done in there
Step back, clean.
to even begin to take over this fight.
Even the most adamant Chavez Jr. fans right now have to admit their dude is being schooled.
Yeah, they're awfully quiet right now.
That Canelo chant is coming outside the T-Mobile Arena.
Chavez is having a hard time defending against that jab. He eats a jab, and then he's like, oh, I better move my head. He moves his head for a little bit, and then as soon as he stops moving his head, Alvarez nails him with another jab.
I hit the think.
Alvarez going to the ropes again, near Chavez's own corner, trying to lure him in, landing that jab.
Cinco de Mayo weekend, Las Vegas. Oscar de la Hoya helped make it a tradition in the early 2000s. Remember against Yori Boy Campos?
Yep. Matter of fact, Eric Morales, just seated right next to us, was in the co-feature of that fight against Bobby Boy Velarde, I believe.
You had Pacquiao draw with Juan Manuel Marquez in 2004. How about Corrales against Jose Luis Castillo?
Oh my God.
May 7, 2005.
Greatest fight I've ever seen. We're not getting that kind of fight tonight.
que golpear más, Julio. Tienes que meterte más con él. Tienes que pegarte con él, Julio. Pégate con él porque le des la distancia. Esa 12.
You gotta hit with it.
Sí. Pero tenemos los rounds perdidos, Julio.
We're losing the rounds.
You know, Beto, I think we've reached the stage of the fight where I think it would be a good idea for the corner to at least threaten to stop the fight. Just to light a fire under Chavez's ass. They say, listen, man, we're going to stop this fight. And you're going to lose by knockout to this guy you can't stand unless you go out there and try to make something happen.
Do something. Show something. Outclassed is the way to describe this one tonight. Back another one. How about Oscar De La Hoya? Ricardo Mayotta got May 6, 2005. This is what you call research, because you got to dig deep, because it could happen where it's just a one-sided affair. And that's what we're seeing right now. You think Canelo just enjoying doing this?
Yes, this is what we call back in southern Missouri a slow bleed. He's torturing him. He's being sadistic in there. He's just picking him apart bit by bit.
Leaving nothing to question.
Good right uppercut from Canelo.
Blood from the nose of Junior. Left eye closing, stiff jab from Canelo. Mouth wide open from Junior.
I mean, Alvarez is nonchalantly kicking Chavez's ass.
Even the patches on the back of the trunks are falling apart right now for Junior.
No, I'm serious. I don't know what Chavez's corner told him between rounds. I think they should have said, hey, we're going to pull the plug, man. You got to push him back on his heels.
No, they didn't
Impose yourself physically.
They didn't give him advice. They said, you're losing, you need a punch. You need to do something, which is what they've been telling him the last couple of rounds.
And it seems like it's the cut man who's talking to him, not Beristain.
You know what? That's a great point.
I don't understand. He's just standing on the outside of the ropes, and it just looks like she's giving him water and not saying anything.
It goes back to the question of Junior in camp. How did that camp go? You can always post anything you want on social media of how great your camp is going.
Right.
But until the people inside actually know it, and the people are booing now.
Well,
Mexican fans.
Yeah, it's not enough effort from Chavez, even though he's hanging tough in there. He's getting the crap beat out of him. But they want more effort. If you're going to lose, go out on your shield. That's what a Mexican warrior does.
Hey, you know the Mexican fans at home are watching this still standing on their feet. Canelo's been on his feet all in between rounds.
Hey, Mexican fans are loyal, but it's a tough crowd, as you said. They have high standards. The bar has been set very, very high.
And they say, as Escalante said, all you need are ganas. Show me some ganas, show me some huevos, do something. And right now, he's not doing that. He's in there getting his butt kicked, as you said, Doug Fisher. It's been all Canelo tonight. Triple G. Sitting a couple seats away from Golden Boy President Eric Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez likes what he sees. And Team Triple G with his trainer Abel Sanchez and his promoter Tom Loeffler of K2 Promotions, I think they like what they see.
Well, as Eric Gomez tweeted Lance Pugmire this week, we are having that fight in September. Lance Pugmire did a great job.
Vamos al onceavo round, Julio. Ya tienes que soltarte, Julio. Métete con él, sube tu mano, mueve la cintura. Pero suelta más golpes. Vamos.
Throw more punches. It's been the same instructions the last few rounds.
Not exactly the kind of expert advice that we had anticipated from the Hall of Famer in Beristain, but maybe Beristain gave up on Junior in camp. Maybe before we got here, I don't know. But why even show up? Why bother working the corner?
So there's 10% in line.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Junior was guaranteed $3 million. Of course,
He'll make more than that.
There'll be bonuses later on. Bethel Duran, Doug Fisher. We're inside the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, led by Frank Belmont and his great staff. We're watching Saul Canelo Alvarez completely take apart Julio Cesrr Chavez Jr., the much bigger fighter. Body shot from Canelo. Vegas has set the line at over-under rounds at 10.5 on 11. Canelo Alvarez, United States, Mexican-American fans, for the most part, adore him, respect him, are a fan of his. For some reason, the last few years, in the country of Mexico, Canelo has been polarizing. Some of them, because of the way that he has said, I'll fight Triple G, then he doesn't. How he's been fighting at different weight classes, or as some say, his own made-up class.
Or maybe the fact that he hasn't fought in Mexico in quite some time. He's fighting here in the United States and making a grip of money every time he fights, and so folks think, oh, you're too high and mighty.
Well, that's
You're the rich American now, huh?
In the Mexican culture, Doug, it's you se te sube, you think you're too good.
Yes.
Canelo Alvarez, well, he is really good.
Yeah.
He lives in the shores of San Diego for his camp. He is a fighter who is very open about the way he feels about things. He has told the sanctioning bodies, I don't care about your belts.
And he said that to the Mexico City-based sanctioning organization, the World Boxing Council, and that won't make him popular in certain circles within boxing and within the sports media, particularly in Mexico.
And to Canelo's credit, he's been playing that heel part really well with the Mexican media.
I guess so, but here's another thing about Alvarez. Unlike Junior, he is a true professional, and he is improving fight by fight. Every fight I see Canelo in, he shows me a little something different, a little wrinkle here and there that I hadn't seen from him previously.
Well, that's another thing that Canelo has said, reading some of the Mexican newspapers this week, saying, hey, look, I've done everything in my career I'm supposed to do. I never missed weight. I fought Mayweather when I shouldn't have because I was green, but I still fought him because I wasn't going to wait any longer for the opportunity. I'm here. I've never ducked anybody because I can tell you I'm going to fight him, but I'm going to fight him when I'm ready for him.
Right, he realizes he's the star.
Okay.
He's the biggest attraction, at least in North America, and he's not going to be dictated to by another fighter, by promoters, by sanctioning organizations, by the media, or even the fans.
Junior isn't bringing 20,000.
Time.
Último round, Julio. Respiro, respiro.
Rounds, Hey, hay que ganarle nada más. No empieces a locarte. No provoques un madrazo que no te ha dado en toda la pelea.
Don't get crazy.
Gánaselo
Don't
bien,
open yourself
atacando,
up for a
moviendo la
shot you
cintura y
don't need.
échalo para atrás. ¿Ok? Con tu jab. Mucho pinche jab y movimiento de cintura.
I think you understand mucho pinche jab.
Yeah, there's some colorful language there.
That's universal.
Yes.
Never once did Canelo take the stool tonight.
All right, good luck.
12th and final round. I think the hard part about Las Vegas tonight will be trying to get in the door at Tacos El Gordo, trying to get some tacos after this fight. There's going to be some fights and some resistance in that line.
Yes.
More than what Junior has brought tonight.
Honestly, I think it would have been better for Chavez, even if he felt weak from making this weight, to press Alvarez as hard as he could, and if he got beat up in the process, as long as he went out on his shield, as long as he went down swinging, I think Mexican fans and most hardcore fans would have given him credit for that. I don't know if he'll get credit for just going the distance with Alvarez. I think he will get some credit in some corners because he has taken a good shellacking, but I don't know if he's given enough effort, at least in the eyes of Mexican fans. And I don't want to speak for Mexican fans, but I am familiar with them. I do know that they have high standards.
Our crack stats with the stats. Chavez has yet to land 10 punches in any round. And that goes to a tweet from the Michael Thompson basketball player. How about this tweet from him? Chavez is throwing a no-hitter. He hasn't hit anything tonight.
Oh, well.
Michael mixing up his analogies, but we get the point.
Yes.
A big boxing fan is Michael Thompson.
Well, I think Junior's going to have to get used to it. He's going to hear it.
You know, and also Junior was talking a lot about, I've changed. I'm taking it serious. I'm here. Canelo hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. Well, what did he do to bring the fight? A lot of fans, you're hitting the boos because it's been one-sided. And Doug, you've covered fights in Mexico. If the dude doesn't fight.
Oh, yeah. You get pelted with stuff. Never mind booze.
Yeah.
You get hit with stuff, debris.
And how much of this, though, is Canelo just showing, I'm outclassing you, I'm on a different level?
A lot of it is mostly Canelo. He's just a better class of athlete, a better class of boxer. His technique is excellent. He looks very strong. He looks so solid, fighting above 155 pounds. I actually think there was no stamina issues in this fight. Now, mind you, he's been able to fight at his pace because Chavez Jr. hasn't really pressed the action, but he looks very strong. He looks like a handful for any middleweight on the planet, and yes, that includes Gennady Golovkin.
Hey, he said he's going back to 160 like Future said. Future rapping him and ASAP Berg. I'm on a new level. Well, Canelo's going to be at a new weight, and he's looking good. Completely controlled this fight. The fans aren't happy with what they saw tonight, but Canelo Alvarez throws the shutout. He has his hand raised up high tonight. Completely and utterly dominated Julio Cesrr Chavez Jr., who walks back to his corner slowly.
Fans came to see a Mexican showdown, a Mexican war. What they got was a master class from Alvarez, and they know for sure now who the star of Mexico is. And he's not just popular, he's an elite boxer.
There he is, still has a set down. The flag is waving. That flag is bigger every fight.
Yeah, Raul doing a great job with the flag waving tonight.
There goes Don Chepo Reynoso. You see him in the behind-the-scene videos, singing, cooking for Canelo.
He takes everything so easy. Nothing ruffles his feathers.
I think.
Yeah, he could fight 15 rounds. At this pace, Canelo Alvarez weighing in what he weighed. Fighting at that pace, he could do 15 rounds. That left eye looks kind of nasty. And Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. is in there and shaking hands with Canelo and the entire team, being a good sport about it. And Alvarez approaches Chavez, gives him a little hug, says, no hard feelings, I guess.
If you get your butt kicked for 12 rounds. Remember, Gennady Golovkin is ringside.
Well, I'll tell you what, Alvarez better not call him in the ring unless it's to announce that fight next. Don't make that mistake again.
All I know is that if I'm Triple G and I'm ringside, I'm going to that ring.
Triple G will be pissed off if Alvarez calls him in the ring and there's not a fight set.
Ladies and gentlemen, all three judges have the same score, 120 to 108. All to the winner by unanimous decision. De Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Saul Canelo
Record 49 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 34 knockouts. Excellent performance, completely dominated, outclassed in every department. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.